Is there an obligation to fill every minute of every day? Is there a societal pressure to fill every minute of every day? Do you want to fill every minute of every day? And if so, why do you want to fill every minute of every day? Is there anything wrong with not filling every minute of every day and vice versa? I don't know about you, but I still have a slight twinge when I sit about and do nothing, even when I may pick up a hobby. If I just read or do something that isn't productive in a productive kind of way. Maybe productive in as much as you are filling a hobby, you're filling your time, you're filling your mind, you're occupying yourself, you're amusing yourself, but you're not doing something that is practically useful, that is like good around the house, good for society. I still get this slight little twinge of guilt, and after all these years of retirement, surely to goodness that should have gone away by now. I think I just put this down to having a very busy life, and by that I mean a busy work life. I grew up in the 60s and the 70s when not having a job, if you were well enough, capable enough of going to work, held a huge stigma within the community. Those of my age out there will remember that in your community, in your little town, wherever, you actually knew the person who didn't work. You knew didn't work, but if that person didn't work for a good reason, then all well and good, and society and the community would support them as best they could. But then there were those, the dole waller, we used to call them, the people who didn't work just because they didn't want to work. And not so much now, but in those days, it held a stigma, and the people knew it held a stigma, and there was even more stigma if you could brazenly and barefaced go walking through society knowing that everyone knew you were a dole waller. And if you could do that with your head up high, it was almost something to be admired. The brass neck of it. How dare he? We're all out working and he's dole waller. And we've got him now. And that's not to say there aren't thousands and millions of people out there who genuinely can't work. And if there are, then you, my friend, have my full support, because that's what society is all about. Supporting each other when we need support. But do we need to support each other when we're quite capable of supporting ourselves and lending ourselves to those less fortunate? It's a beautiful morning, it's hazy, the sun is over to my left now, coming up in the east. It's behind a bank of haze that looks like it's going to burn off. I look to the west and I'm looking towards the coast, and the coast at Southport and Blackpool and down over in Snowdonia and in Wales is hidden in mist, and we are here high up. And it's still, and it's quiet, and it's still fairly early, so hopefully we won't encounter humans, because the humans are so disagreeable. We all knew how critical it was to actually work within our community, so we, without complaint, spent our 50 years before the mast stoically and not complaining, and then at the end of it retired for that few years of gentle ribbing of the generations that succeeded us. Who amongst us is naive enough to think that you can get up every morning at cockcrow, go out to work 8 hours a day for 50 years, come home to a family routine, follow exactly what you're supposed to do, and that at the end of that it may end up in divorce and anarchy and hardship and sorrow? Who of us amongst us thinks that getting up every morning, working for 8 hours a day for 50 years is a guarantee that at the end of it, you're going to live a peaceful life. But we all feel obliged to do it, don't we? We all feel obliged to get up and go out 8 hours a day for 50 years in the hope that at the end of it, we can have a few years of peace with our loved ones. We can have a few years of peace on our own. But it always doesn't guarantee it, does it? But we still feel this obligation to do exactly what we did at work. Fill our time, fill every minute, be a useful citizen. Don't sit and stare. Don't sit on a hillside and just gaze over at the flowers and the grass and the trees and the sheep. There's a field full of sheep at the side of me here. We all feel like we deserve that, don't we? It's programming, dude. It's all programming, and that baked-in programming for some may be fine. It may be what they're used to, maybe what they want. They might feel security at the end of the day when you've got plenty of time on your hands to do nothing. That baked-in programming is the thing that keeps you safe, keeps you within those parameters. That means you're not going to drop off at the sides and hurt yourself. And you just follow that road. And it's calm and it's nice and it's pleasant. But for those who want to buck that trend and do a little bit different and sit on their arse and do nothing or do more than they should be doing, you have to kind of first negotiate that minefield of convention. I can't be just sitting here and doing nothing. Of course you can. What's wrong with sitting there and doing nothing? Who said there was anything wrong with just sitting there and doing nothing? There's great comfort, there's great peace and tranquility on sitting on your big fat ass and doing absolutely squat. Just doing nothing. Just letting your mind drift away wherever it wants to go. Just letting your hands sit in your lap and do nothing. You know that that's not going to go on forever. It's just a break in the routine. A break in the routine, because that's what life is. It's just a long routine, and then as soon as you finish one little task, one little routine, we seem to feel obliged to start another one immediately, and as soon as we finish that one, we move on to another one. Really, we should just take a break. I've learned how to do this over the years, and it's not a conscious thing, is it? It's just your mind just... I still feel a little twinge of guilt sometimes, but I used to. I was one of those who, I couldn't sit still. I had to be doing something. If I sat still for 5 minutes, I was like, oh, I can't sit still like this. Oh, and I feel guilty about it. I'm wasting time. Wasting time. Who says that you're wasting time? Time is only wasted if it's actually not only not beneficial, but actually does harm. If you sit and doing nothing and you're happy to do it, if there's any kind of little pleasure at all in doing it, then it's not wasted, is it? It's only wasted when you're sitting there and it's actually doing you harm. It goes beyond non-productive. It's destructive. Apart from that, do what you want. Just sit. Here now, years ago, I used to go out walking a lot and climbing a lot and all that kind of thing. And if I sat on a wall, I'd sit on a wall for about 2 or 3 minutes gazing at a view. But then I'd feel, I've got to get on, I've got to get on, I've got to get on, I've got to be doing something. That's what I do in life. I do something. I've got to be doing something. But now I have got to the point where I can sit. There's a place down here, it's like this little area where they keep all the bales of hay, and it's a wooden structure, and it's just about the right height for a little bloke like me to sit on, and I will sit there and do nothing. And I'll sit there and do nothing for as long as I want to sit there and do nothing, because I'm not doing anybody else any harm, and it is actually doing me good. When I sit at home now, up to quite recently, into retirement, I would still feel that urge as soon as I stopped to start. As soon as I stopped It was like, right, move on to the next task, move on to the next job, move on to the next bit of housework, move on to the next bit of shopping, move on to the next bit of bill paying, do this, do this, do this. I'm quite happy now to sit for a while. It's difficult because I don't think we ever get out of that mindset. I still, at the back of my mind, think I really should be doing something. I really should be doing a little bit of something rather than just sitting here doing nothing. But I continue to sit there and do nothing for a bit longer. And that's absolutely fine. And when I get up then to get on with my next task in life, I don't feel bad. I think, great. I've had 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour a morning, a day, a week, a year, my life doing nothing. And because I don't feel bad about that, that's absolutely fine. That's how you want to live your life. Go for it. Do it. Fill your boots. If Hannibal had done nothing, then 37 elephants would still be happily grazing away in North Africa. Loxodonta cyclotis, the now extinct North African elephant. Stick around, folks, we've got a history lesson going on here. The Austrian painter wouldn't have been crashing around Europe causing havoc with his Charlie Chaplin moustache, and U2 wouldn't have been ruining a whole genre of music. The secret is in the slow and gentle process of learning how not to give it. Assuming responsibility for your own time, yours and no one else's, isn't something that can happen overnight. But if you don't take control of your own time, you may end up sitting on your deathbed thinking, what the heck have I done? I've been running around like a lunatic all my life, doing nothing for myself, when I could have been sitting, staring into the middle distance, like Doris at number 23. We could go into this in great depth, but we may be here for hours if we tried that, just like Hannibal crossing the Alps. So this is just a seed, something to think about, something to put there. We can go into it in depth in the future because we've got plenty of time, because we have taken control of our own time. And we're going to sit here now on this little framework where the bales of hay are put for the cows in the fields, with the sun coming up behind us in the east. And we're going to sit here for as long as it takes. We're going to sit here for as long as it takes. And I know that you at work can't do this, but I can only talk from my perspective, because one day, God willing, you will be in a position where you can do this. I can hear a chubit over there and skylarks over there. Molly is just mooching about in the grass. There's an occasional walker coming by, because we are above Lead Mines Clough down there, where we often go for walks. And it's a beautiful morning, and we hope you have a beautiful day. Spring is almost here in its full glory, and after that comes summer, and after that comes autumn. We have the rest of the year ahead of us to enjoy every minute. The hard winter is behind us. So enjoy it. Enjoy every minute. You might get run over by a bus tomorrow. So enjoy it. Make every minute, every second, live it like it's your last. Live it at 90 miles an hour. Live it at 5 miles an hour. But live it with your eyes open, and with your senses open, and with your heart open. And you will, at the end of the day, like this little old bald man, be able to look back and say, I enjoyed that. And I've got all these people coming in the comments telling me what an old fool I am. You carry on. You carry on. But don't come crying to my ghost when at the end of the day you look back and think, well, that was a bit crap. I could have done better with my life. I should have listened to that old mon sitting on that bloody wooden framework. I should have listened to him. Listen to me. And in the meantime, we shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.